everyone, this is Katie with Homeschooling for His Kingdom. Welcome. To those of you who might be new to the channel, I'm a homeschool mama. My husband and I homeschool our children, and we've been homeschooling for quite a while now. I'm trying to calculate, probably 8 or 9 years now. So we originally were homeschooling out in Washington and then California, and then the Lord has brought us to North Carolina and now to Florida. So I've had to look up quite a few state requirements, I guess you could say, for the different homeschool laws wherever we lived. And if you've been following me for a little bit, you've seen that I do have some other videos out here for the PEP requirements in the state of Florida. But I wanted to let you know that this video will be also helpful even if you don't live in Florida. This is just some basics on assessments testing, and I will talk in a little bit of detail about the PEP. But I also want to be able to help those of you who might not be in Florida and just are interested or want to take the assessments tests wherever you may be, or maybe they are a requirement of however you have chosen to homeschool your kiddos. So let's jump right in. What are assessments tests? Well, they are they are the nationally recognized tests that assess where your child is against the national average in subjects such as math, reading, science, language, and things like that. If you guys have not taken the assessments before with your children, it's really not maybe as intimidating as you might think. We've taken them before, probably 3 or 4 times already. I don't take them every year for the kids, but they're long days, but they're not necessarily overwhelming. And so I wanted to just kind of get your guard down about that. For Florida, this is one of the requirements in order to receive the scholarship funding. So perhaps this is new to some of you. And so I just kind of wanted to encourage you that my kiddos don't necessarily drudge the days when we're going to test. They are used to it in a sense. They know they're going to be long days, but I count them as full-on school days. So I do not try to teach anything else on those days. And this said, these are when I take when I have them take the written tests. I know sometimes the online tests are a little faster. And so maybe you're thinking, days, what is she talking about? Like, my kids can get it done in a day. And some of them, I've noticed some of the requirements, you can have them test in a day. But this is for the actual, when you have, sometimes the written tests are a little bit longer. And so we usually take 2 to 3 days for the written tests. How do you take the assessments? Well, for some of you who actually want to give the assessments to your children, there are options available for you. And for the PEP specifically, you can go to the, online right now, you can go to the Step Up for Students webpage, and you're going to go to the PEP, the Personalized Education section, and you're going to go all the way down into the big blue box on the bottom. This is where they explain to you what is required if you wanted to participate in the scholarship. And it talks about the different things that we have to do with declaring the grade, submitting the student learning plan. Go down to the 4th requirement there. It's the norm reference test. It's underlined. Go ahead and click on that. And then it'll take you over to the Florida Department of Education website. And this is where, if you're part of Florida, but also if you're in another state, these are just links to getting the assessments, okay? So, but for the PEP specifically, we have to choose from the PEP families. We have to choose from one of these nationally recognized tests. And as you can see, they have quite a few. They have 28 options for us. And so, as for how to take the assessments, if you want to administer them to your children, just go ahead and pick which one you want and then click on the link and follow the directions. So if you are allowed to administer it, go ahead. And then if not, maybe you're going to have to go to the district in your area to have a certified teacher administer it. I did call into the PEP, and it was a little bit back and forth on the details, but I finally got the resolution that we are supposed to call whoever is basically selling the test to see who they will allow to administer the test. And so I'm planning to either use the Iowa or the Stanford. And so I called in to the people that provide that test, and they said, yeah, both of those you can administer by yourself as the parent. Katie, go ahead. And so there's the link for you. Each one of them, not every single one, but quite a few have a website to go ahead and lead you to where you can buy the testing or details on how to get the testing. If you don't want to administer the test to your children, you would just have to coordinate with your local school district, like when are they going to have the assessments? And then if your child, like if they're in elementary, you're going to probably have to call that school district or that school. And then if they're up in middle school or high school, you're going to have to coordinate with each school as to when they're giving the testing, because they're given at different levels. And then just try to decide what test they're like, you'll ask what test they're giving, and then make sure that it's on the list. And you can have the list in front of you. Be like, what tests are you providing this spring in the county of? And you say your county. I'm a homeschool family. I have however many children. These are their ages, and then you have the list ready for you. And then you just make sure that whatever test they say, it's one of them that's on the list. So that way we're in compliance with the PEP requirement. Okay, so whether you administer at home to your kids or you work with a local school district, once you have the tests and the results come back, what do you do with them? Well, from talking with PEP, they will be sending out an email to us when it's time to submit to submit the test results. And so she said that they will be sending out an email, and where we can upload it will be under the student profile. So let me see, I just don't want to get ahead of myself with my notes. Yeah, the main thing is to stick to the list. It's going to be on the student website. So like you'll log in, it won't be on the main website. You'll go onto your dashboard and it will be with the student's profile. I went online just to see if it was there already. It's not yet. And so it must be a new link that they're going to provide for us whenever it's time. So, okay, so you get the test. You have your students take it, whether it's with you or the district. You have the results, and when you get the email, you go ahead and upload that. I would keep a copy, obviously, for yourself. And then what is the deadline for that? Well, I talked to several different people about the deadline. Right now, the answer was they don't have one yet, but they should have one soon. One of the gals at PEP mentioned that the deadline to submit these exams last year, which was the first year for the personalized education program scholarship, was in October. And so I'm not sure if it'll be the same this year. Since last year was the first year, they might adjust that. But basically the idea is get it in probably before your next school year starts. And their fiscal year, I think their school year starts in August or the end of July, something like that. So we'll definitely want to get the test done and uploaded by then. And I hope this isn't overwhelming. There are practice tests. Our kids have never taken the practice test, but if you would like to get copies of those or questions, you can use seatandtesting.com, and I'll put a link for that in the description below where you can get some practice tests. I did get a question from one of the viewers on that, if there was any way that their kids could prepare or get some testing. Yes, there is. And then also, if you, I'm going to just put seat and testing below. That's where I get my standardized testing normally. Whenever originally I bought it from Abeka, and then I think because of pricing, Seton was a little bit cheaper, and so I started buying from Seton Testing. They have like 3 or 4 tests, but it looks like a lot of these links, you can buy them right off the Department of Education's website. It's not from the Department of Education in Florida. It gets you over to their website, but there's a lot of them, it looks like, that you can just buy right there, or it's not necessarily that you will always get the hard copy, because sometimes you might want to have your child take an online approach. And one of my mom friends says that she had her kids last year with the PEP do an online one. I think she called it the STAR. I don't see that one unless I misunderstood the acronym this year. But she said that was very easy. Their kids did fine, and she could upload it from an online option. Maybe she printed it out and then scanned it. But either way, whether you choose to have the children take the test online or in a written copy or at the school district, that is up to you. You are the homeschool mama or papa. And the idea, though, is not to, one of the things I wanted to stress is that it's, for some of us who this might be new for, I've always used it more as like for next year's planning, the curriculum. It wasn't so much like, oh no, we're like missing out on this subject, or so-and-so is a little behind here, or there's a pocket of information that he didn't know. Well, just say, okay, well maybe next year we can stress a little more on the science, or if they were a little bit behind in reading, let's get some more time in reading this coming year. So to me, it was always a beneficial thing to see the results. And that way I knew kind of up against the national average, how are my kids doing? How am I doing as a teacher? And is there any holes I can fill next year? So I hope that helps you to see it more of in a positive light as to what it can actually help us see about our kids. I mean, because we see them all the time, right? And so no matter what state you're in, we took the test in California and then also North Carolina. It was just a good keeping tabs on how we're doing, you know. And also don't stress your kiddos out if you can help it. I always just try to have a lot of protein the morning of the test. You know, when you are giving the test, if you're doing it at home, make sure to have good lighting, keep the house quiet, you know, just keep everything as calm as you can. I usually separate the kids and I kind of go from one to the other. You know, be honest. Don't try to give answers away, right? You want to get good results, right? So just do whatever the instructions tell you to do. They have instructions for the administrator, and just follow those and read as many times as you're supposed to the instructions, and then be quiet as they get started, you know. I think the Iowa is timed, and so if it is timed, then, you know, be honest with the time. Make sure you have your phone or some timing device there. But you're going to do great, you know, and it'll be a good experience. And then for us in Florida, we again see the scholarship money is such a blessing that, you know, having this test, in my opinion, we do them anyway, and so it wasn't a big deal for me. But for those of you, again, who this might be new, whether you're in Florida or anywhere else, I just use it. I would use it more as a tool to see how you're doing. It's not pass or fail, and so please, again, don't stress your kiddos out about anything. They're going to do great. It's about what you've covered that year and the years before. It's a culmination of that. And so just tell them, hey, get the ones you know right, and if not, keep going. If it's a written test, make sure to tell them to fill the bubbles in really carefully, not to be messy, things like that. But anyways, I hope this information helps you. I felt like it was a little rapid fire, but I will have some links below in the description box of where I'm going to buy my testing and where you can get the practice tests and anything else that I think would be helpful. Hope you guys are having a great day and a great week, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you guys.